Welcome back to the episode of Unranked Podcast. What we're going to chat about today. Great game by Detroit Lions. Took care of business handedly. Beat down on the Jacksonville Jaguars this past weekend. We'll dive into some of the highlights from that. Then we'll shift gears. Next matchup, going down to Indy this weekend, playing against Indianapolis Colts to round out playing that AFC South overall for the season. Be cool to 4-0 overall. So, but yeah, we'll kick it over to you, E. Just want to see your thoughts on how the Jaguars game turned out.
Yeah, no, I mean, not much you can find about the game to talk bad about. Pretty flawless victory, from like you said, they got out early on that field goal on us, and then just a like a 28 to 35 point onslaught after that of just unanswered points, kind of imposing our will on them, whether it was through the run game, through the air, just getting them off the field quickly, three and outs. Just their offense just was sputtering, looked horrible. Exact opposite for our offense, looked amazing, world class. So, overall, it sometimes I'm watching these games and I say, like, who the hell is this team? Like, who, is
Yeah.
this, it's like just the light, like just the switch was turned. You in the NFL, this isn't college football where, you'll have three or four of these a year, regardless if you're any type of team we're talking about. You'll have three or four of these a year where you beat a team 52-6, you know, 48-3, all these crazy scores. You almost never see this in the NFL. And on top of that, this consistently, this would be I would say our minimum of our second game where we just beat the brakes off of somebody, uh,
Yeah.
where we could have probably pulled our starters very early to mid third quarter. And that it definitely was the case in this game here. And it was good to see, just uh everybody, like I'm trying to pull the stats up here. So obviously Jared Goff, perfect QB passer rating, but 24-29 for 412, four touchdowns, no picks. Amazing game.
Yeah.
And then overall as a squad, for the run game, 43 rushes for 196 yards. So, we're putting up 630 some odd yards in the NFL game. That you do not see that often. So, that's kind of the overall points I'll say is just it's great to watch them hit on such a high caliber. And we obviously didn't leave unscathed. Lost a key contributor to the defense and out
hmm
Alex Alzone, but we seem to have been shaking things off so far.
hmm
None bigger loss than Hutch. So, hopefully we can shake this off. And I'll let you kind of talk about one of the guys we signed to try to jumpstart that process. But
For sure.
overall, just a phenomenal Sunday.
Yeah. I think what I like about this game the most, man, is just like coming off that game last week where get punched in the mouth, play a horrible game. Just listening to Dan Campbell and some of these press conferences, like I feel like I don't know, it was just interesting. You would have thought that it'd kind of be up there, like kind of like taking a deep breath, like, whew, dodged a bullet there. But like all you kept hearing him say is like, I mean, obviously he had stuff to clean up on, but it was really like you can just kind of tell like they was like really, really looking to like clean stuff up and kind of get stuff together. 'Cause I feel like this definitely would have been could have been one of those games that like hell, I gave like a 27-16 score, you know what I'm saying? Like where we kind of just are in like a dog fight because of kind of how we had to exert ourselves to come back in that second half the way we did against the Texans. But like you said, firing on all cylinders. I mean, he looks he's yeah, that check. I mean, he's earning that contract right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously as we get more into the playoffs and everything, we really need him, but I mean, he is rolling that run game. Looking Montgomery, 5 yards of carry average. Jahmyr Gibbs, 6.3 yards of carry average. I mean, hell, you can even Jared Goff, 5.3 yard of carry average. Like it's just a very like it's just crazy to watch. And you go in the midst of all this, bro, we didn't even have Sam Laporta. But then like our backup tight end, Brock Wright, still find a way to catch him a touchdown. So it's, we're just spreading the love. Jared Goff keeps saying it. He just out here playing point guard pretty much. It's just wild just watching like, Jamison Williams come into his own. Like he just needed us. off season, and he is as advertised now. This is what we've been waiting on. So, but I think we talked about coming on here. Feel like it's like it just feels a little too like much. Like it just kind of feels kind of crazy. Like watch some of these scores. So just jokingly got to say we hope that they can just save some touchdowns for the postseason. Obviously we got a big stretch coming where we're gonna be a little turbulence, and we ain't gonna. I don't think we're gonna go 15, 16-1, nothing like that by any means. But we're positioning ourselves very well right now to get that one seed. And yeah, like you said, it's I think the only thing that's kind of like sucking in the midst of all this is the injuries. Um, I think we do got a solid guy for Anzalone, David Long Jr., somebody that played under Terrell Williams, who was in Tennessee. They were there for like 4 or 5 years together. Um, I feel like that mesh between playing under him, understanding like how he coaches the D line and things along those lines. Hopefully, he can kind of step in and get our scheme figured out. Get Zadarius Smith, get him roll. Like that's like it's
Yeah.
stuff like this where it's like we're not even full strength and still just look. We got like the best is like on the way. It feels like still. So, yeah, just a great game.
Yeah, no,
Overall.
I want to talk about a couple things you mentioned, and that was just, I think what we're basically both trying to say is just make sure that we don't go, we stay level headed and we don't let
Hmm.
these games sneak away from us. And most
Yeah.
importantly, I don't think we're a type of team now, we're steaming steam ahead towards the playoffs. What's really going to come down to is if you beat the brakes out of this many teams this all season and you look this like your peak top condition, you look like you are a Super Bowl caliber team, and you go down and lose a game in the early playoffs like you're not supposed to, that would be so disheartening. And I think that's what
Elijah.
we're both saying about. No, I'm just saying in general that's what we're both saying. And I think
Yeah.
it does start week to week where you can
Like don't
keep
get
it
got.
together. Keep it together. And it looks like that's what they're doing. Where the like you said, we played a tough game where the Texans 5 picks coming off that, it looked crazy, needed the last second field goal, and then we come right back and get right back to business.
Hmm.
And we have a couple of we not to jump too far ahead, but a couple of divisional games coming up versus the Bears. You know, I think by then, hopefully, Reader and Pascal and uh, Cesarius
McNeil.
is and McNeil. Hopefully, all of them are cooking, and
Yep.
we have Caleb Williams running for his life, and just continue to knock those the check marks off to like you
Hmm.
said, get that buy, and get healthy, and
Yep.
and and just another rest. And sometimes I don't. What I don't like is when teams get the buy and set their players the week before the buy. I think that
Hmm.
the 2 weeks throws players off. But let them play the last game of the year versus the Niners.
It'll
If it,
probably be meaningful
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Vikings at
yeah. So
home.
really, that's what it is. The Vikings last game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It'll most likely have implications there too, to where it'll kind of like
yeah,
most
you
likely
got to
have to
play.
do that. So I'm with you there for sure.
And
Um,
but no, and I think just with Colts this upcoming weekend,
yeah.
like a couple days away from them. Uh, an interesting squad. They're hovering. I think they're 5-6 right now. You look at some of their
Hmm.
games. They've played some. They've beat a couple of solid teams. They played some other teams pretty tough. And they're kind of a loose cannon. Anthony Richardson. Very electric arm, kind of immature as far as just offensive passing development. As far as
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting, but he likes to run. He's mobile, big, hard to kind of get down to the ground. So, I do think this is a different type of test for us, somebody we haven't seen before.
Hmm.
So I do like it, and I'd be ready to see what the defense is going to do. But what are your thoughts with the Colts? Coming off
Yeah,
this massive win, and then kind of and then I don't know if you want to speak on the game stretch we're coming up with how many games
for
we have?
sure.
Games, 12 days.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I think so. For what I've just seen from the Colts, I'm pretty sure they're like in the like bottom third in like rushing defense and passing defense. So they kind of leaking oil on that side of the ball, but they do have a pretty talented like D line, front seven. So you know, I'll just say this like all confidence they haven't seen the best O line in the league yet. So I do feel like we should be able to establish the run and kind of do what we can do from an offensive standpoint. But I think overall, like I am, like I'm glad we've seen like Kyler Murray. We've seen like the Geno Smiths that can just kind of extend the play just
Right.
a tad bit, just a smidge that can kind of like it's kind of thrown us off in the past. Or like last year, that was like a really, really big issue we had. But luckily now, the secondary being stronger, just being able to clamp up on guys a little bit better. Anthony Richardson, he'll definitely give you some opportunities to get a ball or two.
Yes.
He's either like he's like a 10 for 30, 185 yards with like a 70-yard like
Yeah,
longest like
somewhere in there.
throw,
Yeah.
or it's like 10 to 30 for 190 and like three picks and like a rushing touchdown. Like it's great. I literally heard I think he's younger than every quarterback drafted besides McCarthy in this previous draft. Like by like a year or
Couple
two.
years. Yeah.
Granted, guys like Daniels and Bo Nix, they a little like long, a little up there like 23, 24, but like he's in his second year.
For sure.
So he's still learning. I think he's played like he might have played like 10 or 12 career games
Yeah.
so far, like in the league. So
Yeah, because he got hurt
great.
early last year, and then
Yeah,
he's played a little bit this year, got benched, and he's back.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yep.
he
Great,
probably
yeah,
is sitting
great,
right about 10, 12 games. Like,
yep. A great player, and yeah, like him in the backfield with Jonathan Taylor. We've seen him. I mean, he gave Michigan. I remember watching. Gave us about 235. I actually got to tell him that in the airport one day. That he gave us 235 up at Wisconsin a few years back. So yeah, I think it's they got some solid receivers on the outside. Pittman from USC, it's white boy, Alec Pierce. Don't know where he came from, but I feel like every time I look at red zone, he's catching a 60-yard pass.
yeah.
Got a solid player, Josh Downs. They got some weapons just like we do. I just feel like there's going to be some opportunities to get some turnovers, and I feel like we'll be solid. Just on the offensive side of the ball.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I say the same thing every single week. Uh, I see the same thing every single week, but establish that run game, and then the rest of the offense will unfold itself.
Yeah.
And I think we found the right rhythm as far as getting, and we don't have Laporta to get involved, but getting the tight ends involved, getting
Hmm.
the running backs their touches, getting Gibbs his touches out the backfield and receiving. You just kind of spreading it all around, and I
Yep.
think, but it all starts with that run game, and I think that's what gives everybody else the confidence. So establish that, and I don't think nobody can mess with us. I really don't. Um,
Hmm.
but moving forward from there, I agree with you on defense. Just I want to see the D line get nasty. Try to clog up that run game. I think last year, I actually don't know this year, but I know last year our run game was phenomenal. But
Like run
that's because everybody was
defense,
just sorry, yeah, run defense. But that's because everybody was just opting to pass on us. But now I
yeah,
think we're way more well balanced.
complete
And
defense.
yeah, complete defense. So I think even if our run defense has slightly suffered a little bit, that's because the passing defense just went from bottom tier to
Yep.
right in that ballpark as far as
Hmm.
mid level defenses. But what our defense is phenomenal at is getting that ball, taking the ball away. And I expect to see a couple of that this week. A couple of interceptions or interception fumble combo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter or not, but obviously everybody says that Gibbs and Montgomery's Sonic and Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Seen somebody say that
Jamo's
Kirby
tails.
Joseph, yeah, it was what?
I think Jamo was tails.
Oh no. Oh, okay. No, this was defense. This was Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. They said they called him smash and grab.
Smash and grab. I heard him, bro. They, I one interview they was calling themselves 50 Boys too, which I thought was pretty
The 50
funny.
boys.
But that was one where like people were probably kind of like, what? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's like kind of like an inside, had to
Yeah, if you
watch
know,
the
you
show to
know.
like
Yeah.
really get that. But yeah, smash and grab, that's fire.
Yeah.
They doing their thing
But no,
back
no,
there.
I
Another,
think they set Hutch used to set the tone on the defense, but I think since his absence, they've really are setting the tone on the defense as far as it is a 50-50, it's 50-50 chance whether you get this shit picked if you throw some bullshit over here as well.
yeah,
So
for
I think
sure.
they're just so dynamic, and then people know that Branch is going to come and take your head off if you come around lackadaisical. So that combo. I feel pretty good about it. So I'm
Yeah,
really looking forward to this team. This is one of the bright spots of my Lion fandom is this this squad, and I'm looking forward to them being 10-1.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll throw out some score predictions here and then kind of talk about the next little stretch here. I'll start off. So I'll say I always like to just look at the total or the over under or whatever the spread. So like 7.5, 8. I'm feeling I don't know, I'm feeling like a 31-17. 31-17, 34-17. I think, yeah.
Yeah, that 34-17, a little closer to what I like. I think we might triple that spread. I think we might.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
very well could.
so. I'm gonna be right in line with that. But let me go. I'll say 38-17.
Okay.
38. Yeah,
Like
I
that.
think and that'd be 16 less points than we scored last week. I mean, I think we
Hmm.
allowing 11 more points, and we'll still be a very dominating victory. So I think there's a
For
lot of
sure.
room for margin in there, especially if you're letting our offense just steamroll you, as well as extending that by turnovers, punt returns, whatever
Right.
you're doing. So yeah, no,
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, and then after that, man, I'm looking at the schedule now, and this is like where it's like the rubber hits the road. This is like we're really in the thick of it. This is that first place schedule. This is what it really is. We got Chicago on Thanksgiving. It's also been a great year. We've broken a lot of streaks, so it'd be great to see us break that one of losing on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be a little pissed they ruined our Thanksgiving again this year. But after that, got Green Bay, Thursday night football. And after that, you want to talk about like just a heavyweight match. Um, Bills, Bills come to town on December 15th. So yeah, I mean, I think this is another like quarter of the season. I just want to see what you think. Like, I'm looking at like this Colts game, Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo, 3-1.
yeah,
I think that'd be, if we can get out of there 3-1, still be sitting pretty. For that one seed, could probably go 2-2 and still be in the mix for that one seed. Just kind of depends on who you lose to. Probably would like, I think we can, I'm confident we can beat Buffalo, but that's probably like, I wouldn't mind dropping that game since like out of conference.
right.
But yeah, just wanted to kind of see what you think over, with this, yeah, 12 game or 3 games, 12 days, is a hell of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean a very tough stretch. With for lack of a better term, let's say the frisky Colts coming in. You never really know with
Mhm.
them. Um, Thursday night, whole country watching. Um,
Speaking
Thanksgiving
of
Day,
Thanksgiving,
another thing where weird things happen. Players step up. Other players kind of wish they were at home eating. I think weird things can happen that week.
yeah, we got embarrassed
Uh,
last year.
so yeah, so that's a great point to that. And so I just um and
Then they
then and
sent
then
Jack
follow that
Harlow
up
out.
after that with the Packers, who you said what?
I said then they sent Jack Harlow out at halftime.
And
It made it
into
worse.
like a weird white bubbly, yeah, whatever the hell he
Yeah,
had
I
going
legit
on.
told my uncle like, turn the TV off."
Yeah. Talking about, I don't need no but we no, I think we have this stretch here is going to obviously tell a lot about the team. I think obviously
Right.
clearly a playoff team, clearly in the hunt. But if you are really fighting for that number one seed
Mm.
and all the perks that come with that, you're going to be coming out of this stretch probably like you said 3-0, 2-1 worst case. And I think um I agree with you on the Bills. I would rather lose to the Bills and then come back and finish strong with 2 divisional games in a row. Sorry, no, we got the 49ers in there also, but I'd rather lose to them and then come back and kind of finish strong at the end of the season. Kind of
I, yeah, I'm with you.
get that loss out of there. You don't want to, not to say, you don't wish losses on people, but you also don't want to go into this playoffs and you ain't lost since, October 15th.
You need
You ain't
something
lost.
to piss
Yeah,
Dan Campbell off again. You know what I'm saying? To
yeah, then
like
kind
kind of
of
like level
spice
set.
everything up,
Yep.
rejuvenate, kind of recalibrate. Okay, we gotta relock in. Uh,
Hmm.
if we kind of take our foot off the gas, this can happen. So
Right.
no, I just think that little window there is going to tell a lot about the squad.
Hmm.
Truthfully, I'm hoping we can break this losing streak on Thanksgiving because the Bears don't scare me that much. I think Caleb Williams is another guy that can kind of uh,
Move around.
yeah, move
Yeah,
around a
their
little
O
bit, but
line
also
is
he's liable to give you two or three of them also.
O
And I think
line's
we
in
could bait him
shambles
into that. Yeah, so I mean, it's exciting time to be a Lions fan, and just it's gonna be. I mean, coming to some of these later games here, I mean, we'll have both running backs probably approaching 1,000 yards. Probably potentially two receivers hitting 1,000 yards. So I mean, our offense is
rolling
is rolling, and it's not just a single guy. We don't have this one dude that has 2,200 rushing yards, and if he rolls his ankle, we're completely fucked. He
for
doesn't have.
sure.
You know, we have and players stepping up. Laporta, we had
Yeah,
arguably statistically the best tight end in the league last year. It's
he
been
been
real
missing
hot or
out.
cold this year. Yeah, so
Hmm.
you throw him into this mix, heading into the playoffs. I mean, I think that's how you throw some dynamite on this.
For sure. And even that too, like we're just very like not full strength and just kind of finding a way to, and then even like knock on wood, somebody get injured. We got guys like Allen Robinson, like former Pro Bowlers that can step in if they need to. They've been singing his praise. He unfortunately got a concussion like as soon as he came in his past game, but they say he's been like he learns every position, just like practices hard. I'm a big Tim Patrick fan. We got like we just this like it's just this depth is just like unheard of. Like even like our core of linebackers like Campbell and Ben Neiman and some of these guys kind of filling in here and there. Rodrigo, like these guys are just playing great football. So if we can get to this gauntlet, won't look too ahead, but we might be kind of could possibly put the nail in the coffin on the Niners as well, going out there because they're starting to look a
Yeah,
little,
they're sputtering. Yeah.
yeah, leaking oil a little bit too. Not to look ahead, but I don't know. It just feels good as a Lions fan. Like I feel like in the past, I'd be looking at this schedule like Indianapolis, Green Bay,
Mhm.
Buffalo, like. But now it's like, I mean, I'm chomping at the bit, for some of these games. Like, I cannot wait for that Thursday night Green Bay game, that Buffalo game, obviously, the Chicago games as well. But I just like it just feels good to like kind of have these games where you're able to kind of like test yourself and see what you're really about, in the regular season before, shit get real in the playoffs. So yeah, we're in a good spot right now. Best team we've both seen, both our eyes since probably like what 2014, 2012, 13 when
Yeah,
Stafford dragged a couple teams to the playoffs.
yeah, that's a fact. And I think this team probably is way definitely more complete than those were.
Yeah,
That was more like I was saying
absolutely.
before. That's Stafford throwing for 5,500
Hmm.
yards and 40 touchdowns. That's
Yeah.
yeah. He couldn't
Yep.
buy. He couldn't. We couldn't buy him a 100-yard running back. We couldn't
Right.
buy. We couldn't. So
Yeah.
we
We just balance across the
we
board. We built from the inside out. This old line got me looking at buying a Sewell jersey here soon. It's just yeah, it's a great thing to see. Just looking forward to this next quarter of the next quarter of the season, how we finish out.
yeah, for sure. You got anything else for the people?
Oh, that's all I got. We'll be back with y'all next week. Probably maybe throw a little Michigan basketball in here and there. They're starting to get going. They 2-1 on the season. Our Pistons, they hover around 500 for the first time since like 2018. So this is great. It's a great time to be a Michigan basketball, um, Detroit sports fan. All no, I even say last few years, it's a great time to be a Detroit sports fan and a Michigan sports fan. Just awesome to see a lot of success because we were pretty dead in the mud not even 3 or 4 years ago.
No, I agree
So
with that. We've been riding good. So it's and then hopefully the Lions circle the block for us. So I agree.
yeah,
We'll get right back
100%.
after next week. And hopefully some good things happen this weekend.
Yep. Talk to y'all soon.